Hey guys, Rick and Duke. Welcome to another episode of War HOGG Words of Wisdom. For those of you new tuning in, you're asking who is this Duke character? So Duco was my combat assault dog. I lost him 5 July 2021 to osteosarcoma. We started the show. We're gonna keep his memory going. You guys can always go to warhog.com/ in honor of Duco, learn more about him. The nonprofit we've started to help other SOF canines out there and their handlers, so they never have to make a medical decision about their partners. Also, guys, do me a huge favor. Man, we are all over the world. Just if you're driving, I got it. Wait till you're safe. Pull over, find a spot, hit that subscribe button, hit that rating review, leave us a thumbs up emoji. Here's the thing. I'm looking or asking for everybody that's hearing my voice. Man, just do me a favor. Take 2 seconds of your time. Leave us a rating on whatever platform you're listening to. It would greatly boost our reach out there, getting the words out there. Last thing is, don't forget patreon.com/on the range podcast. You guys can support the show that way. Early access to our episode Zoom calls with me and Mark twice a month. We alternate the times due to having patrons all over the world. So greatly appreciate your support. Here's the deal, guys. I'm going to jump right into it. So I'm going to dub this episode Red Dawn. So for those of you that may not know, famous movie in the 80s, had to do with the Soviets and the Cubans invading the United States. Try to do a remake of it, wasn't that good. Before we deep dive into that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And again, these questions are just for you to answer. First of all, have you worked out today? If not, hey, if you're still listening, you still have a day to get your workout in. Should be kind of a part of your daily ritual. The other question I'm going to ask you is, if you are armed in whatever way, either armed civilian, law enforcement, military, have you done your dry fire training? Again, question for you, just to ponder, think about. But again, if you're carrying a firearm for your own self-defense, put that effort in there. So kind of looking at, and it's not really, this whole episode isn't going to be on the invasion of Ukraine by the Russians. Really, I'm using it as a catalyst because I think we've seen some amazing things happen as far as the Ukrainian people go. And I question whether we as Americans have that willpower. I question whether we as Americans could actually rally and do what the Ukrainians are doing. Why do I say that? Here's the thing. I look at my fellow Americans, and again, this isn't in a negative statement. It's just, here's the facts. We're not a very fit culture. We look for convenience, fast food, easy to get our food. Is it the healthiest? Nope. Not in all cases, but we don't seem to bat an eye at that. You got to sit there and, man, to watch these Ukrainians step up. And I wonder, and again, I am not super savvy as far as political ongoings in Ukraine, but what's the culture like? Now, when you think about it, we as Americans, we're all this, toxic masculinity. Don't be a man. Don't be masculine. Don't be all this. Yet I wonder if the roles were reversed, and here in this country, we were being invaded. Could we do the same thing? You have all these people out there, anti-Second Amendment, anti-gun, and here's the Ukrainian government just handing out AK rifles to their citizens. Because again, the key word at the end of the day is freedom. Let me say that again. The key word is freedom. So we take for granted our freedom. We take for granted, in my opinion, every single day, the freedoms that we have, the great country that we live in, the opportunities that's available to us to do whatever we want, to be whatever we want. However, if push came to shove and we actually had an invasion on U.S. soil, would we see our fellow Americans rally to the cry? So again, looking at it, Ukraine's kind of, hey, if you're anywhere between 18 to 60. So let's think about it. 18 to 60. You're fighting. That's the bottom line. You are sitting there grabbing a rifle and you're going to fight against these invaders. Man, let's think about it. We've got some people that are in their 50s, in their 40s, in their 30s, in their 20s, in their teens, man, I don't know that they could carry themselves from here to the mailbox without keeling over. And again, guys, I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to be ugly. I'm just saying you've got to have some personal responsibility in yourself. If you do nothing else, if you think about it, if you do nothing else, take care of yourself. Be a good person. Make yourself 1% better every single day. And I just ask, we live in uncertain times. We've watched the China virus come in, people sitting there flopping around going, hey, am I ready? Am I not? Do I have supplies? What's going on? And now we kind of see this invasion going on over in Ukraine, and these people are rallying. They have some national pride like I have never seen. And I question my fellow Americans. And I got it. This podcast goes globally. So wherever you're at, wherever you're listening, just plug in Americans for wherever you're at. But could your country, your countrymen, could they do the same? And I sit there and I raise an eyebrow. I don't know. So, pondering that, when you look at it, people are going to say, probably the people that are listening aren't going to be in this boat. But there's people out there that are like, man, why do we need guns? Let's think about it for a second. Let's look at history. And again, I have always stated I am a huge fan of history, because if you understand history, you understand what's going on. Ask yourself this. We are a country that has not seen combat on U.S. soil since the 1860s. Civil War is the last time that we saw battle done here at a catastrophic level. Americans killing Americans. Catastrophic. Like, war has been never waged as it was right here in the U.S. But here's the problem. We're generations removed, right? We're over 140 years, or actually more than that, 160 years removed from that combat on our soil. Yes, we have had men go to combat, but it's been overseas. We haven't had combat here in this soil for a very long time. So again, people don't understand that. We have the luxury of freedom every single day. We can pick and choose what we want to listen to, what we want to do, what we want to, whatever we want to do. But again, back in World War II, the Japanese had all intent of invading the United States. What stopped them? What was the key factor stopping the Japanese Empire, who bombed Pearl Harbor, kind of had us on our heels a little bit? What stopped them from invading mainland U.S.? And here's the concept, guys. And again, the translation goes back and forth, but it's translated that either behind every blade of grass or behind every door, however you want to look at it. And again, I don't speak Japanese to give you an exact translation, but it's one of the two. The key word was there was an American with a gun. We currently still are an armed society, right? Is that a deterrent? 100% it is. Does that mean somebody wouldn't attempt, try, do something? This day and age, you never know. You never know. To watch the Russians go into Ukraine, I'm sure the Chinese have been talking about going into Taiwan. There's all kinds of talk out there. Is it beyond the realm for another country to sit there and to try to invade the U.S.? I don't think it's beyond the realm of nothing's beyond the realm of possibility this day and age. But I just question, really, where are my fellow Americans at if they truly had to sit there and go, hey, man, I lose everything. I lose all my freedoms. I lose all my rights. I lose everything. Or do I sit there and fight? Why do I bring this up? And again, I'm always trying to find ways to either try to motivate, inspire, get you guys just to go, hey, man, I got it. Life is hard. Life is tough. Life is rough. It is not fair. It beats you down. But you know what? Here's the one thing we control. We control us, right? Even though the chips are down, even though things are not going well, can I not take a couple minutes and get a workout plan in, or get a plan and then go get a workout in? 100% I can. That's taking care of me. That's taking care of my longevity. That's taking care of myself so now I can chase my grandkids. Here's the thing. Rick's plan, I'll tell you guys straight up. When my grandkids are in their teens, I'll run sprints with them. Why not? I mean, you don't want to sit there, everyone's like, oh man, I'm turning 30, I'm turning 40, I'm turning 50. Dude, hey man, if you live a healthy lifestyle, it's just a number, right? Don't get wrapped around the axle. And then again, the firearm side, I'm always going to tell you that. They go hand in hand. Yet the very tool that could save our life, we don't sit there and want to put the time in. We don't sit there and have some type of training notebook. Are we actually seeing where we're sitting at? What are you working at on your dry fire training? And I can't tell you. I can give you some guidelines. I can give you some parameters. I can tell you, hey, here's some things that I would do. But again, I'm not you. But again, if you're carrying that firearm, in what capacity are you carrying it? Are you the armed civilian? Well, I sure hope that you're testing out your clothing to go, hey, can I get this thing out of concealment? I gave you a prime example. So again, dry fire training, got this new shirt, kind of like it, but the way it's designed, it's got, it's kind of a heavier shirt, so it's got pockets on the outside. But what they have done, or at least the manufacturer, they decided to sew a piece of material on that in that pocket area to hold it down. Here's the thing. I found out again during my dry fire training because, hey man, I want to wear this shirt while I was carrying concealed. Man, it's a snag hazard. 100% it's a snag hazard. So I got to do one of two things. I got to either modify this thing. I got to sit there and go, hey man, this shirt is, if you want to say, great for around the house, but it's not for, hey, when I'm out and about doing my business. But again, are you testing your clothing and equipment with that? Or are you just sitting there going, yeah, it's good. Here's the great question I always ask my students, especially when they got red dot pistols. And I know the answer, and some of you guys know the answer, but they've got a red dot pistol. So it's got a red dot. At War HOGG Tactical, we bring, or I have the students bring T-shirts they can shoot out to every training event. And I just ask the question, hey man, what happens when you put that red dot on a red shirt? And I see all these blank looks. And I'm just going, guys, it's your life, man. You haven't tested this stuff out. If you've got a flashlight, have you actually used that flashlight? How much illumination does it give you? Is it good in the house, outside the house? I mean, these are all things you've got to ask yourself. I mean, go down the laundry list. And I get it, depending where you're at with either your fitness or your firearms training, I got it. You might need that little bump to go, never thought about it. Well, there you go. But here's the thing, don't wait till tomorrow, because what if you need it tonight? What if you need it today? And kind of like I talked about the whole New Year's resolution deal. I love people that go, man, January 1st, I'm starting whatever. Why? Why? Start today. Start right now. If you're listening to this podcast, there's hours still left in your day that you can do both. All right. And I'm not asking you to spend massive amounts of time dry firing. Really, I'd be an honest broker. If you could spend 5 minutes for 3 days a week, man, you'd be so far above the power curve. In that, do a couple things, right? It's going to take you a little more time for prep work. You want to write down what you're doing. If you got a pro timer, start working on your pro times. Ideally, record it with your phone so you can kind of see your performance. So they'll take some time reviewing your footage and going, hey, am I doing anything extra or being inefficient as far as my gun handling goes? But same thing goes with your fitness. I don't have to spend, umpteen hours in the gym. A good 30, 45 minute, man, you can sit there and crush your soul. But you're going, Rick, it's whatever time and the gym's closed. Well, here's the thing, man. If you've got yourself a home gym, easy fix. And I got it. It's easier said than done sometimes, but dude, get you a brute force bag, load that thing up with some sand, and trust me, that will crush your soul. Plenty of exercises out there to do with just that bag, and all you need is just some space, and bam, get to work. So again, guys, we are in unsettling times without a doubt. I can't emphasize that enough. However, are you going to be a victor or are you going to be a victim? That's the question of the hour. And I would say this: learn from the China virus. Hey, how to be prepared. Learn from what's going on in Ukraine. Do you have that pride? Do you have that ability that if tomorrow somebody were to invade the United States of America, could you take up arms, defend yourself and your family? Could you sit there and go, all right, let's just say hypothetically you didn't have to do that, but you had an evac somewhere and you only get so far. Now you've got to take all your worldly possessions, whatever those worldly possessions are, because you got to hand carry them. Now you got to move God knows how many miles on foot. Could you do it? And don't sit there and go, oh, yeah, if I had to, I could. Really? You huff and puff going to the mailbox. What makes you think you're going to hump 20, 30, 40, 50 plus miles to get to somewhere safe? So I just say, hey, man, if you've let yourself go, pick up today. Be today that you change 1% better. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not asking you to sit there and go, hey, go run, sub 6-minute miles. Nope. Dude, if you can't run, that's fine. Run a mailbox, walk a mailbox. Run a little bit, walk a little bit. Trust me, you will start picking yourself up. And, kind of on the worldly possession thing, it gets you thinking, right? Think about it. If I had to tell you, pack up your stuff now and go, what would you pack? What are those things that, to you are important? What are those things that you need to grab? Whether it's, family heirlooms, whether it's pictures, and I got it most, this day and age, everyone's got pictures on their phone, but, if you do have pictures, what are you carrying? Look at, again, use the Ukraine as an example. Most of these people got a rolly suitcase, all their worldly possessions. What clothes you wearing? What clothes you're bringing? What do you get for shoes? For my ladies listening out there, you're sure not taking them fancy high heel shoes and walking any distance in them. Do you have a good set of walking shoes? All these things, just think about it, guys, right? And again, I'm not trying to instir paranoia. I'm not trying to be, hey, you suck because you haven't done this. Nope. I'm just trying to give you some food for thought, just some words of wisdom, right? Be a scholar of history, understand what's going on, and then just do something to take care of yourself. If you haven't, been kind of watching the news, and I'll be first and foremost, I am not a super fan of the news. I can't personally stand it because I think all they do is just pump propaganda. However, I am super impressed kind of with what's going on and watching as far as everything goes over in the Ukraine. And again, it shifted everything here from the U.S. You haven't heard squat going on here. Nobody's talking about what crimes going on here. A lot of things are deterred because of it. However, don't let that fool you. Don't sit there and rely on social because, those savages over there, Zuckerberg loves to pump Russian propaganda, but won't put out Ukrainian. So again, I can get on a banter and rant all day long on that stuff. And I think you guys know exactly where I'm at as far as the social platform goes. But, I would say this, guys, see what they're doing. They're standing up. They're standing up to oppression for the bottom line of this, for their freedom. That's how precious they're willing to lay down their life for freedom. That resonates. Trust me. If you're listening to my voice, you understand freedom because you're in a country that allows some type of freedom where you can actually sit there and tune into the show. Now, in closing, I would say this, guys. If you haven't seen, I think it's the 80s version, I don't remember what year, of Red Dawn, watch it. Good entertainment, right? Group of kids sitting there doing their business. But again, let it drive home a fact. Think about this. Could you emulate what they're doing? Because I got it. We're not exactly seeing everything the Ukrainians are. You kind of get little glimpse of kind of what's going on there, but there hasn't been a whole bunch coming out, right? But just kind of look at, hey, man, could I live out in the woods? Could I move a distance on foot? What are my worldly possessions? Am I physically fit for that? Do I have provisions, water? All the things that, that they're having issues with over there. Are you set up for success? Or are you just kind of out there floundering, hoping for the best, going, it'll never happen here? Maybe you can say that, but God forbid the day it might happen, or it does happen, and you're not prepared. So it's just kind of getting yourself straight. Start now. Start today. Make yourself better. If you're not savvy with first aid training, get some first aid training. I got it. You don't want to carry a handgun. That's fine. What else can you do to defend yourself? Can you work your hands? All these different things, guys, right? So I just say all that kind of my words to you. But again, I'm going to ask in closing, do me a huge favor. Go, please, whatever platform you're listening on, whenever it's safe. If you're driving, I got it. Drive and be safe. But whenever you get to that point, you get to your final destination, you get home, you get to the office, you get wherever it is you're going, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us some type of rating. I don't care if you just give us a thumbs up emoji. Man, leave us something, right? We're just trying to bump this algorithm, get things going. And the only way we can do that is with your support. And trust me, I am super grateful for all the support we have had thus far. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't thank you guys enough for everything. Don't forget, make sure you guys go to warhog.com and kellydefense.com. Sign up for our newsletters there. That way, you'll be abreast of what's going on. When we have training courses going on, product line, whenever that gets ready to launch here shortly, just kind of do some final stuff on that, all that stuff. So you're staying abreast of what we got going on. And then if you like what we're doing, you want to support the show, kind of the last and least is, patreon.com/on the range podcast. You guys go check out our sites. I know for me, we're tweaking them, trying to tweak the site all the time, make it better, interactive. Hey, if you guys got some suggestions, shoot us a note, let us know. I know Mark's doing the same thing. We've got our industry partners page, kind of those companies we've partnered with, all our different discount codes, all that other stuff. And again, that stuff is for you guys. We partner with these companies. We go, hey man, hook up, either our students, our listeners, whatever, with here's your little, promo code. And as Mark likes to say, save you a boatload of cash. So, but do this, guys. Take that time, get your workout in, make yourself a little better, get your dry fire training in, train your hands, do whatever it is you're going to do so that, hey, if you need to, you're better prepared. So that's it, guys. Stay strong. Trust me. The world's not falling. All is good. But again, I just ask you, my fellow Americans, man, just make yourself a little bit harder to kill. War HOGG and Duco out.